For more on all of this, let's bring in the White House border czar, Tom Homan. Tom, good to have you back here. I wanted to ask you about this newly revealed petition for a protective order that was filed by Kilmar Abrego Garcia's wife, Jennifer, back in 2020. It says in part the following, quote, I have photos of all the bruises he's left on my body. Me and my kids are afraid now. He's kicked me, pushed me, slapped me in the face, threatened me. I also have a recorded that he's told me, my ex-mother-in-law, that even if he kills me, no one can do anything to him. She alleges significant abuse, and this would seem to buttress the notion that this guy was not the husband and father of the year that Democrats are making him out to be.
Well, it supports what we've been saying from day one. We removed the public safety threat, gang member, designated terrorist, who's been ordered twice to be deported from the United States. He's in El Salvador. He's home. We did the right thing, but I hope that Democrats keep going down there. I hope they keep playing this game because they're showing the American people they're supporting a gang member, terrorist, public safety threat, white beater, rather than meeting with Angels moms and dads. I'm meeting with 50 Angel moms and dads this afternoon. Is there one Democrat representative going to be there? No. So they can keep playing that game. It's a loser for them. We'll keep doing what we're doing.
So this from the DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin on the new revelations concerning Abrego Garcia. She said, quote, we have now found 2 petitions for protection against him, in addition to the fact that he entered the country illegally and is a confirmed member of MS-13. Our country is safer with him gone. You mentioned the Democratic support of this guy. This is the hill that they have decided collectively to die on. Do you have any notion as to why they've chosen this person? Is there a bigger picture here that they haven't quite articulated yet?
I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why would you die in the hill for, again, a public safety threat, confirmed MS-13 gang member, designated terrorist, who's had due process? He's been ordered removed by 2 different immigration judges. I don't know. I don't understand it. It's probably for the same reason they said they had a secure border for 4 years. Probably for the same reason they said that the Congress needs to change the law to secure the border. You know, so it's a continuing misrepresentation to the American people. And this clearly shows the support of an MS-13 gang member, terrorist, white beater is clearly showing the American people what they're about. And I think that's why President Trump won a landslide victory.
Yeah, so the Supreme Court issued an order demanding that the White House help facilitate the return from El Salvador of Abrego Garcia. But here's what the New York Times said about El Salvador's reluctance to do that. Quote, the Trump administration recently sent a diplomatic note to officials in El Salvador to inquire about releasing a Salvadoran immigrant. The authoritarian government of Nayib Bukele, the leader of El Salvador, said no. The Bukele administration claimed the man should stay in El Salvador because he was a Salvadoran citizen. So the administration made inquiries of Bukele about Abrego Garcia to get him out. Bukele said no. Is that the end of it?
I mean, are we supposed to go into a sovereign nation and kidnap one of their nationals? I mean, Bukele's made it clear he's a citizen national of El Salvador. And for all the leftists saying that he was erroneously deported El Salvador, they got to remember the withholding order was about fearing a gang in El Salvador, but that gang no longer exists. So the justification for that withholding order is gone. It's no longer exists. Plus, he's now designated a terrorist. And I watched some of the folks speaking before I came on, when they talk. Look, for all these congressmen to stand up and say we didn't give due process, let me remind them. They wrote the Alien Enemies Act. They enacted the Alien Enemies Act. Congress did. We're simply enforcing the law that's in federal statute that they created, that a president signed. We're not making this up. We're enforcing laws that Congress enacts, and that's exactly what we're going to continue to do.
So Abrego Garcia was a big portion of discussion in the ABC interview on Tuesday night between Terry Moran and President Trump. Let's listen to just a little bit of that here.
You could get him back. There's a phone on this desk.
I could.
You could pick it up, and with all the power of the presidency, you could call up the president of El Salvador and say, send him back right now.
And if he were the gentleman that you say he is, I would do that.
But the court has ordered you to facilitate that.
I'm not the one making this decision.
But the buck stops in this office.
No. I follow the law. You want me to follow the law? If I were the president that just wanted to do anything, I'd probably keep him right where he is.
So I imagine that you could quiet a lot of this criticism by facilitating his return to the United States. But at the same time, you would probably open up another big can of worms that if Democrats felt like they could pressure you into bringing him back, then they could pressure you into doing a lot of other things. And Kaylee McGee-White actually told me in a conversation we had offline that she believes that the bigger picture here for Democrats is if they could make it this difficult for you to deport somebody who's suspected to be a gang member, somebody who had orders of protection against him, then how are you ever going to deport non-criminal illegal aliens?
Look, we knew day one. I knew the day one of the inauguration that we're going to be fighting the courts, we're going to be fighting the Democrats, we're going to be fighting the NGOs, the Open Board of Activists. We knew the fight was coming, and we're going to take that fight on. But you know, one thing I know that all they don't, that all the other ones, that the ones that are yelling about this, I've seen in 40 years what TDA and MS-13 are capable of. I've seen the horrific things they have done, not only to American citizens, but aliens that live here. I've seen their capability. They are animals, and I can't even compare it to animals. Animals kill to survive. MS-13 and TDA kill for pleasure, and to put fear in not only the American community, they put fear in the immigrant community. That's who they attack the most, the migrant community. So you know what? I stand with President Trump. This man's home. He's where he should be.
Tom, good to see you back in the program. Thanks so much for taking time this afternoon.
Good to see you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.